Craig, the serious talks, man. The one and done rule. It's about to be done. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm kind of mixed, torn a little bit. But I'm kind of in favor, obviously, of
I thought we had conversations with
18. Yeah, I mean, but that stopped in like 2005. So like over the last, I don't know what it's been, 16 years or so, 17 years or so. Like I kind of feel a little bit different about it, but you know, I'm all for guys. If you think you're ready to go to the NBA, cool, you make that leap. And if you're not, you still have the opportunity to go to school, to go to college. You have the opportunity to go to the G League. You can play overseas if you wanted to.
Yeah, so let me ask this. I thought, so if they update it, because originally once you declare for draft, you can't go back to school, right?
They changed that. It's about if you got an agent before a certain time, there's like a deadline, a cutoff. If you don't get an agent, or you can say, no, I want to go back or something like that. I think they did update those rules.
Okay, good, because then that would be fair if it's like, you know.
Yeah, I gotta go look back at it, but I know
they're probably gonna update it.
So
makes sense.
Yeah. So I mean, like I'm for, if you think you're ready to go to the NBA, then cool, go to the NBA. You can make that leap, and if you think you're good enough, then cool. Some people are going to have a high grade coming out of high school. It's going to be difficult, I think, for scouters to scout these guys coming out of high school versus them being in college.
Yeah,
you're playing at least against guys. I mean, you're playing against better competition in college versus
yeah. You get to see if you're really that guy in college.
Not everybody's coming out of college as LeBron or Kevin Garnett or something like that. So it's going to be, that part's going to be a little bit more challenging to find like that guy.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see what happens with some of these, I guess guys who borderline, what do they do? Like they decide they want to try to go to NBA, or they try to go to college, or one of these other options that they have, especially with college having NIL now.
Yes,
that's huge. Always, I mean, you're not going to make as much money probably. You're probably not going to make as much money in the NBA with the NIL though, depending on who you are. Maybe it is, because I know that kid in was he went to Jackson State or something like that, or Florida or Miami, one of them schools down there. He had like a $9 million deal or $8 million, something like that. It was something crazy for him going to college. So it's possible, definitely possible. So I mean, you got that, you got colleges throwing that out there at you. You come here, you get this NIL deal versus going to the NBA, and then you can also just progress and make yourself better.
Yeah.
Or you just go to the NBA, sit on the bench if you're not going to be a starter or like a role player or something like that. You get that experience just being there in that locker room and being around some of those big name guys. So and then like at least as it pertains, like I'm a big college fan, especially for Carolina. Carolina does not get a lot of one and dones. Like
Duke, that's what I'm saying. Duke does, right?
Duke, Kentucky, Kansas, for the most part, those schools get a lot of one and done. So for me as a fan, I'm cool with it because Carolina doesn't get a lot of those. So I mean, it kind of makes it a little bit more even. But
college basketball was still bomb though when the one and done rule was in there.
Yeah,
you still had people still had people like Tim Duncan and Chris Paul going to college. Like I think John Moran would have still went to Murray State. I don't think he would have came out. I don't think Steph would have came out. I don't think Dame Lillard would have came out.
The average experience has dropped a lot from before the one and done rule, or maybe even like 10 years ago. From as far as like teams are now like so low in terms of experience compared to how they were maybe like 10 years ago. Then you also have to look at the when this does go into effect, I would assume 2024, the 2023 draft class. What do they do?
Probably 20.
It's gonna be 2024.
It has to be 2024.
It's right after Bronny is eligible. But I mean, I'm trying to figure out like what do they do? Like it's gonna be a lot of high school players that I would assume are going to be coming out and going into the draft in 2024. But then you have those guys that were one and dones in college, or you also have maybe like second year guys.
Yeah.
Do they go a year before? Do they Because
Go.
that 2024 class is going to be probably stacked with a lot of one and dones and a lot of high school guys.
Yeah.
And a mix of some veteran college players or whatever you want to call it in there. So, I mean, do you want to take that chance? And then you got a lot of teams stacking up. Like the Pelicans have a lot of the Thunder. They have a lot of unprotected first round picks in the 2024 draft.
Utah.
So they're going to be ready for that draft class coming up in 2024. So, you know, and obviously it's going to drain the talent pool looking at college basketball. It's going to be obviously you had guys like Zion, one and done. You had guys like Anthony Davis, one and done.
Kyrie.
Those guys are not going to be there anymore. Those guys
Kyrie went straight to the NBA.
So you got to figure out how you're going to balance that.
Cousins probably would have went straight to the NBA.
Because before you had, I mean, obviously it was teams out there that could win championships and things like that. But I mean, it was just a different atmosphere. It was a different strategy. You didn't have a lot of one and done. So you got to figure that out again for some of these teams who are used to getting one and dones. So that has to play a part in it. I mean, you're going to get some big name guys still in there, but Cade Cunningham's, they're not going. Evan Mobley's not going. Stuff like that. So I think when LeBron's son, his second, what is his name? It's not Bronny. What's his other son?
Yeah.
Name?
Oh, he's gonna be a beast too.
He's gonna go probably straight to the NBA. Bryce. He's gonna be eligible to go straight to the NBA in 2024. Yeah. Bronny's gonna have to probably go to college. He's gonna have to go to college or go some other route. But Bryce is probably gonna go straight to the NBA.
Bronny might go to college. It depends. I know people are against that. Like, Bronny's not going to go to college. I don't know. He might go. He
doesn't have to technically, but
he doesn't have to. He could go to the G League or play overseas. But I don't know if I could see Bronny going to a college for a year, and you know what I'm saying. Like, I could just see him like, I'm gonna go to college for a year.
It's gonna be a lot of older draft, a lot of older teams coming up, like Gonzaga's, Carolina. A lot of teams that don't get a lot of one and dones. It's going to be a lot of these older teams, a lot of experience. Yeah. A lot of experienced rosters. I mean, you're probably still going to get some one and dones, especially some of the mid-tier guys who are eligible and ready to the NBA, but not all that ready. So, you know, I'm for it. I'm for it if you're good enough to go, because there's been 41 guys who have made the jump from high school to the NBA. And only 10 of those guys have made an all-star team. 9 of those 10 guys have made an all-NBA team. So far, only 3 of them are Hall of Famers. Now, you're going to get
Kobe, Tracy McGrady, and Moses Malone and KG. No,
Moses Malone didn't go straight to high school. All right, straight from high school. No, he's not on this list. I think
he went to the ABA. He went to the ABA. He went from high school to the ABA. Yeah. All right, that's fair.
That kind of counts, but it doesn't count. But as far as just going to the NBA,
we know he counts. I got you. As far as the NBA,
and then you got LeBron, who's going to be Hall of Famer, and you got Dwight Howard, who's going to.
Was I right? Was I right with the 3 so far?
Yeah, those 3 are right.
Kobe and Kevin Garnett. Yeah. Those
are the only 3, and this goes back to 75. So you haven't had, and so that means the rest of the guys that are on this list, obviously didn't make anything. Some of them didn't even play a single quarter, a single minute in the NBA. So I mean, you know, it's a lot of out of this. I mean, it's a small sample size, but 41 guys, 10 to make an all-star team.
I mean, I get that.
You know, it's like 25% basically.
Yeah.
But and I just think that some of these guys coming out of high school are more athletic, and like there's more eyes on them, and they can do a lot more, especially coming from like seeing guys like LeBron has done. Now not everybody can be a LeBron James, but I think
or Kobe or Kevin Garnett,
right? But I mean,
you gotta be built differently, or Tracy, you gotta be built differently.
I think a lot of these guys could be ready for that jump, and if they're ready for the jump, then cool, take it.
Yeah.
And if you get there and you succeed, then that's great for the league. If you don't, then you know it is what it is. Like maybe him going to college, it wouldn't have changed anything. Maybe it would have. Who knows? Like it's always going to be that what if factor if they don't pan out.
Yeah, so. I agree with you. I think that I understand what you're saying. Listen, I don't think I think they need to get rid of it. I think, You could go straight to high school. You could golf. You could play tennis. See professional other countries. You could be. Luca was 15 playing basketball. Like, you just gotta. We gotta. Come on now. I guess I kind of see football. I get it because the body size and the body type. Football is a little bit more violent sport, but all the other sports you can be of age. With NBA, you don't need it. And I like what I agree with what you said, but I think that goes to anything in life. I think some guys go to college and they don't make it there. Some guys are top 10 draft picks and don't make it in the NFL. I think that just goes with everything in life. Some people are prodigies and they don't live up to the pressure. Nobody knew that Kobe was going to be Kobe. We got drafted 13th and then he got traded, So I think it depends on the individual because I know it's a lot of people that went to college that were top picks and are bust. I'll tell you that much. There's a lot of NBA players. It's a lot that went to college for 1 year and are bust. So I think it depends on who you are, and I think everybody deserves a shot. So if you think that you can make this leap, and you think that you can play in the NBA 18, try it. If not, you're gonna have to find different routes. Steven Jackson, he after college he played overseas, and then made it to the NBA, and it had I think like a 15-year career. But you gotta, it's not easy for everybody. Gilbert Arenas is another one. I think. Well, Gilbert Arenas had knee problems, but he had a heck of an NBA career, right? So you gotta like. And they're second round picks. Look at Draymond. So I think it depends on who you are as a person, and if you can have that mentality to make it. Like I think John Morant would have still went to college and still been okay. I think Steph still would have went to college and been okay. Dang, right? But I also think that Kyrie would have went straight to the league. Because some players just have that mentality. Some people have that mentality. It's people that, I'm not comparing the NBA to this. This is on a broader spectrum, but we work, right? I worked in restaurants and I've seen people be like, I can make it here and they're gone in 3 weeks. Like what? It's you know what I'm saying? So it just depends if you can push through the adversity and really focus on what you want. And if you say, I'm going to be the best NBA player, and you come in and you struggle for a couple of years, and you keep at it, and next thing you know, you're like, I'm trying to think who struggled for a couple of years. T-Mac, Kobe, you know what I'm saying? Kobe was shooting air balls, was on the bench, and then he just, Tracy McGrady was traded. I don't know why Toronto traded him. And he wasn't that he became that guy in Orlando. But I just think it depends on the person. Like you either get molded into that or you get folded with the pressure. And so you could go to college and still get folded with the pressure. So I like it. I think it's gonna be I think it's gonna be good. I think it's gonna be good for college too. I think it's gonna be good. Because I never remember. I think it was some really good college basketball when the one and done was going on. I think Tim Duncan went to college when it was one and done, and so did Chris Paul, Vince Carter, Antoine Jameson. Man, basketball was bomb, man. It had some fire people come out, man. I think it's still gonna be. I think it's gonna be straight. I'm telling you, Craig. I don't think it's gonna be too much of a crazy drop off. I think college basketball is always good. That's one thing. It's always good, man. So I think it's gonna be phenomenal.